warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. For today, hopefully we all stay safe. I'm going to explain about affective factors in second language acquisition. That is anxiety, empathy, extraversion, and motivation. First, risk-taking. Risk-taking is an important characteristic of successful learning of a second language. Learners have to be able to cope it, to be willing to prioritize about the language and take of being wrong. Mistaken variation seems to be a factor in our health issues in second language acquisition. The silent student in the classroom is one who is unwilling to hear voice when mistakes are made. According to Brown, the key to risk taking as peak performance strategy is not simply in taking the risk. It is in learning from your failures. When you risk a new techniques in the classroom, try a new approach to difficult student or make a bring commitment. You must be willing to accept possible failure in your attempt. Then you assess all the facts of the failure and turn into an experience that teach you something about how to calculate the risk. In this case, it is essential to accept the fiasco and internalize it is the learning experience. Afterward, language can master that language truly. Anxiety. Anxiety is still not easy to define. Hilberger, 1983, defined anxiety as the subject feeling of apprehensiveness and be associated with an arousal of the outcome. More simply put, anxiety is associated with feelings of uneasiness, frustration, self-doubt, apprehension, or Covell 1978. The research on anxiety suggests that anxiety, like self-experience, at the deepest or global level. At the deepest or global level, trait anxiety is a more permanent predisposition to be anxious. Some people are predictably and generally anxious about many things. At a momentary or situational level, that anxiety is experienced in relation to some particular event or act. As we learned, in the case of self-esteem, then it is important in a classroom for a teacher to try to determine whether a student's anxiety stems for a more global trait or whether it comes from a particular situation at the beginning. Empathy is the process of putting yourself into someone else's purpose beyond them what meaning. This is probably the major factor in the end of it. Language is one primary means of expressing, but natural facilitates a process of emphasizing and not be overlooked. In more sophisticated terms, it is usually described as the projection is of one's own personality of others in order to understand them. Empathy is not synonymous with empathy implies more possibility of empathy connotes empathy connotes an agreement or harmony between individuals. According to Guiora, find empathy as a process of comprehending with a temporary vision of self-object theories, permit an immediate emotional apprehension of the affective experience. Psychologists generally agree with Guiora's definition and add the third necessary aspect to the development and exercising of empathy. First, an awareness and knowledge of one's own feeling, and second, identification with another person. In other words, you cannot fully empathize or know someone else until you adequately know yourself. Extraversion is the extent to which a person has a deep ability to receive ego assessment, self-esteem, and a sense of fullness from other people as opposite to receive that with self. Extroverts are actually needs other people in order to feel good, but extroverts are not necessarily loudmouth and talk active. They may be relatively shy but still need, according to Cook 1991, many SLA theorists claim that extroverts are the better language. Extroverts who tend to be sociable are more like join groups, more inclined to engage in conversation both inside and outside a classroom. Motivation is star player in the cast of characters assigned to second language learning scenarios around the world. Such assumptions are, of course, not erroneous, for countless studies and experiments in human life have shown that motivation is key to learning. There are three theories of motivation. First, from a behavioral perspective. From behavioral perspective, motivation is seen in very matter of vague terms. It is quite simply the anticipation of reward, driven to acquire positive reinforcement and driven by previous experience rewards for behavior to act accordingly to achieve further reinforcement. Second, in cognitive terms, motivation places much more emphasis on the individual decision, the choice people make as to what experience or goal they will approach or avoid, and the degree of effort they will expect. Some cognitive psychologists see underlying needs or drives as the compelling force behind our decision. Third, constructivist. Constructivist view of motivation places even further emphasis on social context as well as individual personal choice. Williams and Barton 1970. Each person is motivated differently and will therefore act on his or her environment in ways they